Good evening, and welcome to the Lawrence City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, June the 20th. Pursuant to Chapter 20, the Acts of 2022, this meeting will be hybrid, allowing participation both in person and in the City Council chamber and remotely. We can be accessed through Zoom. We can also be accessed through our Lawrence City Council page and our Lawrence City Council YouTube page. At this point, I will ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilor Levy.
Present.
Councilor Dela Cruz.
Present.
Councilor Russell.
Here.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Present.
Councilor Del Rosario.
Present.
Councilor Selena Reyes. Noted as absent. Councilor Infante.
Present.
Council Vice President Estela Reyes.
Present.
Council President LaPlante.
President, would you please join me and rise for a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance? Councilors, we have the November 1st, 2022 minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
So,
Motion
second.
made by the Vice President, seconded by Councilor Infante. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Yeah. Roll call. Vote, please.
Councilor Infante.
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes. Just say yes. Okay, present. We take present. Councilor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Yes.
Councilor Russell.
Present.
Councilor Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Councilor
Present.
Levy.
Yes.
Councilor Vice President Reyes.
Yes.
Council President LaPlante.
Yes. Councilors, as you know, every now and then we have a person of import who is no longer with us but has a birthday. Today, in 1842, was John Breen's birthday. John Breen was a mayor and the first person of Irish ancestry to become mayor in the city of Lawrence, kind of a guy that broke the barrier. And also, he's a school committee member. I see a school committee member here today for 22 years. And of course, the Breen School is now named after him in South Lawrence. So a little bit of history today. I also now want to have the public participation. So you have 2.5 minutes. Please address the chair and no individual members of the city council. At the 2-minute mark, the bell goes off, and then you have 30 more seconds to wrap up your comments. Now, the first person I have on here is Andrea Arias. Andrea, you still here? Okay. Then is Mr. Mali.
Humayun Mali, 53 Chester Street. Good evening, honorable members. Lawrence, the best example of respect for union rights. We demand contract for Lawrence Police. We support Lawrence Police Union and Senior Officers Union. Thank you for great job. Contract for Lawrence Police now. Million thanks to our hard-working DPW worker. We support your union and leadership. Our inspection department has done excellent job. We support their union and extra wages for them. Our great teachers, excellent job. The teachers, we thank you for your academic progress. We support Lawrence teachers and their union. Lawrence Public School, with a budget of more than 260 million, must pay competitive wages to our great teachers, to the Lawrence Public School paraprofessional employees, and our cafeteria workers. The best education for our children only possible if we support Lawrence teachers and their union. Remember your campaign promise, Save Lawrence, Prosper Lawrence, only possible if we support our police officers union and offer the best contract. We support our firefighters, DPW, our teachers union. Lawrence one city under God. Now in this election, we rise up, say contract for Lawrence Police now. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Mr. Wayne Peters. I see it hyphenated name with Mr. Mike Morley, so I wasn't sure. You guys going together? You can't hear me? How's this? All right.
Good evening, councilors. My name is Wayne Peters. This is Michael Morley. We represent the St. Alfio Society in Lawrence, Massachusetts, 20 Common Street. This year, we're here once again just to inform everybody about our great St. Alfio Society. This year, we are celebrating our 100th anniversary. And for 99 years, the City of Lawrence and the St. Alfio Society have worked hand in hand into making this a great festival. And once again, we are going to be put on a tremendous festival. We are expanding this year, being our 100th. We will be going from Union Street all the way down to Jackson Street. We have many, many more big events, and this is going to be the biggest event that the City of Lawrence has ever seen, and probably the biggest in the state of Massachusetts it's ever seen. So we just want to thank the City of Lawrence for supporting us over the years. And once again, this year we came back and we are asking for more support from the City of Lawrence to help us because as costs have gone up, but it's going to pay off this year because we are going to put on a fabulous event. And we just want to thank the Lawrence Police and the Lawrence firefighters who have supported us also over the years. And once again, we're looking for support from the Lawrence City Council and from the Mayor of Lawrence to help us put on this great event. Thank you very much.
And I'd just like to say thank you for considering us for creating a more thriving Lawrence grant, and thank you for your consideration.
Very good. You're welcome. The next speaker is Father Joel Amano. Father Joel, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. God continue blessing of you in this night. I am here for speak very briefly about the Festival Theater. The Festival Theater here in Lawrence has now 11 years. For 10 years, we dedicated the festival to the Dominican Republic Director of Performances. And now, this year, we dedicate the Festival Theater to El Salvador. Why? Because we have the Dominican community is bigger, Puerto Rican community is bigger, Guatemala community is also bigger, but now in Lawrence, the new community is El Salvador. And for what reason we understood we need to dedicate to them the Festival Theater. In this Festival Theater, they will show us not only their culture, but they are thinking what they are doing, and for what reason they are here in Lawrence. For the reason I would like tomorrow, when you have the discussion in the budget, please thinking about the Festival Theater and support us, because this is the festival helps our youth community here in Lawrence. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and that is it for public participation. The names, addresses, and topics are being submitted to the clerk for the record. We have, councilors, we have a variety in various citations or resolutions this evening. I'm going to start off first with document number 20423, and that's a resolution honoring gymnast Joel Canales. If there's no objection, I'll take him out of order, and I'll invite Councilor Rodriguez to do the honors. Councilor Rodriguez?
Yes, sure. I can stand it up here. Okay. Good Okay, sorry. Right. It went to the ordinance committee. It get sent out with a fair recommendation. With that said, Council President, I don't know if you would like this to be approved first. If that's the case, I would like to make that as a form of a motion.
There's a motion to adopt this item, properly seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Counselor?
Thank you so much. Now, this is an official opinion of the City of Lawrence. And this resolution is to be known that the member of the City Council of the City of Lawrence, Massachusetts, by and thought the resolution hereby applaud and recognize the achievement and accomplishment of Jonel Canales, the family of Jonel Canales. As you can see, you can stand there. Jonel Canales, he's a 10 years old, fourth grader, a student of the Tarbox School. And whereas Jonel has trained rigorously as a gymnast and at the interstate gymnastic under the coach of Duncan Goat and Charles Jackson, and was a member of the New England Future Star team in 2021 and 2022. He was named all-around champion in numerous competitions, including the 2022 Flipping Invitational Level 4 Division 2, and 2023 West Point Open Level 4 Division 2, and in 2023 Stanford Open Level 2, Level 6 Division 2. And whereas Jonel currently holds a title of 2023 All-Around Champion for the Boston Classic Level 6 Division 2, the Massachusetts State Champion Level 6 Division 2, and the Regionals Level 6 New England Level 6 Division 2. Wherefore, we, the member of the Lawrence City Council, hereby applaud and honor the accomplishment as a gymnast of Jonel Canales, and hereby set our hand and cause the seal of the City of Lawrence to be fixed in this day, June 20th, 2023. Congratulations, Jonel Canales. You want to say a few words? No? The mom, you want to say a few words? They're a little nervous, but to me it is a pleasure to do this because a kid that is going to our public school system he have done so much at the early age of 10 years old. This is impressive. Thank you. And then we can go around and say hi to all the country. Thank you for everything you did, ma'am. Can go and say hi too. Let's take a picture, Ray. Over here, Ray.
Counselors, while we're going to take some pictures afterwards, but if there's no objection, I'd like to now deal with document number 21323. Counselor Rodriguez, this is again another resolution. You have the floor.
Yeah, item 21323 went to the ordinance committee, sent out with a fair recommendation. And with that said, Council President, I would like to make that as a form of motion to be approved.
Motion by Counselor Rodriguez, seconded by Vice President Reyes. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Counselor
With that
Rodriguez.
said, Council President, this is an official opinion, a resolution to the City of Lawrence, and a resolution to be known that the member of the City Council, Massachusetts, the Lawrence, Massachusetts, it thought that the resolution hereby applaud and recognize the academic achievement and accomplishment of Jonathan Raul Rodriguez. Whereas Jonathan is the valedictorian of St. John's Prep in Denver, Mass, class 2023, and whereas Jonathan's parents, Jose and Rachel Rodriguez, has supported him and celebrate his many accomplishments throughout his academic careers, including being named a finalist of the National Merit Scholarship Program, receiving an AP Scholarship with Distinction Award in 2022, receiving a Harvard Prize in 2022, being a member of the National Honor Society in 2021, 2022, and 2023, and receiving the Academic of Excellence Award for all 4 years of high school. Jonathan was a recipient of the Luna Latinos Unidos en Acción Awards in 2020, also in 2023, and the St. John's Prep Loyalty Services Award in 2023, and therefore, Jonathan's dedication and extends beyond his classrooms, serving as a tutor of the Velicini Academy, member of the St. John's Computer Club, AI and Engineering Club in Multicultural Affairs and Economic Developments, a student advisory council as well, whereas Jonathan was accepted in Harvard University, Yale University, Tufts University, Brown University, and Stanford University. He has chosen to attend to Stanford University this fall. Wherefore, the member of the City Council and the City Council hereby applaud and honor the academic achievement and personal achievement of Jonathan Raul Rodriguez, and hereby set the hands and calls of the seal of the City of Lawrence to affix this today, June 20, 2023. This has been signed by all members of the Lawrence City Council, including the City Clerk. And with that said, Jonathan, congratulations. Unless you want to say a few words before. Councilors. Councilors, I'm going to share his speech from his graduation. It was amazing. It was about community, God, and obviously his accomplishments. Thank you, councilors.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Counselor. At this point, I'm going to look to take another item off. This one would be, if there's no objection by my membership here, we'll take 2-12-23 out of order and invite Counselor Del Rosario to provide us some citations for some worthy youngsters. Please, Counselor. And I would ask, if you've already received a citation, please don't leave quite yet. Many of us would like to take pictures with you when this is all done, so stick around. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you, Councilor. Thank you, Council President. As I want to represent this citation to a great group of kids. This item was item 212-23. It was sent to the ordinance with fully recommended, and I would like to make this a formal motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, and I think it came out with a favorable recommendation as well, Madam Chair.
Good.
A little unorthodox. Motion has been made and seconded by Councilor Rodriguez. Any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Because there are a lot of kids, and I don't want to take a lot of time. I just wanted, and eventually I'm going to read, but why was I inspired to do this? By traveling with these kids, I learned that what really team players are. And in the last game that most of us have spent a night together in Connecticut, I realized that they don't have no boundaries, no flags, no colors, no race. They only one team. And that made me so proud, and I say, this kid needs to be recognized. When they won all together. When they lose all together. They did not blame one player. They did not blame anybody. They took the blame on themselves as well as the win. And that's what inspired me. And today, I'm going to just read this. And I want them to know that the City Council congratulates and thank you to all 12 you North football players who participated in the 2023 spring football season for the Merrimack Valley Lancers, Union Lancers of Lawrence. Your hard work and dedication, commitment of the team have been truly inspired, and we're grateful for your contribution. Your perseverance and sportsmanship have made this season an unforgettable one. And let it be known to all that the Lawrence City Council acknowledged the 12U North football team players on June 20th, 23, that the 12U North football players are hereby celebrated and recognized by the Lawrence City Council. This has been signed and sealed by all my colleagues, and I'm going to call you all by names, one by one. If you're not here, anybody can pick for the ones that are not here. And the first one I have is Anthony Bernabel. Don't leave. You want to do it together? No, I do apologize. Also, Congress, I mean, the Congress is here, so. No Congress. Well, I mean, the representative and the senator are here too. And how are we going to do this? Some words.
Well, good evening. On behalf of State Senator Pablo Payano, we also want to recognize the Junior Lancers accomplishment. He asked me to be here on his behalf and on behalf of the whole state delegation, which include State Rep Stella Reyes, State Rep Leader Fran Moran, the State Rep myself, Francisco Polino. We are proud of your accomplishment, and the City of Lawrence is proud of what you mean to us and what you mean to the whole city. We also have citations for you, signed by State Senator Pablo Payano, and also signed by Senate President Karen Spilka. All citations state in recognition of your participation as member of the North Junior Lancer football team and the completion of your 2023 season. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts wish you the best, and we are proud of your accomplishment, and we look forward to continue contribute to your future achievement, either in sport or in education. So we're going to be giving each one of you also a citation on behalf of the State Senate.
And we also have recognition from the mayor's office. So Julio Mejia is here and to represent the mayor.
Julio Mejia, 200 Commons Street, assistant to the mayor. We also have recognitions for some of the students from the MV Junior Lancers in honor of their athletic participation this season and for their hard work and dedication to the sport.
So we continue with this, and I got Jason Lemary. Jay? It's not here? Amari Harrison. Nicholas Capola. Janiel Frias. Dabil, if I don't pronounce this one, I'm sorry. Dabil Brodus. Sage Edward. River Woodard. Ladell Ray Coleman. Oh, this is the coach. There's the coach. There's the coach. Right here, coach. This is the coach son, Silas Ray Coleman. He's not here, but he will take it. Nicolas Grasso. Nicolas Grasso. Junior Familia. Hey, gang. Sorry, guys. Jonathan Figueroa. Aiden Figueroa. Ellie Gurrierd. Austin Presley. Coach will take them. Bobby Default. Carlos Calcano. I should leave this one for the end, though. Might be for me. Gregory M. Del Rosario. What you make me do? Darius Moran. Josier Calderón. Almost done, almost done. Sofia Reyes. Javian Peguero. Coach might take these. Carmen Silva. Suavi Montero. Grayson Carroll. Chris Presley. Jamie Grasso. Last but not least, Bobby Romano. Well, with that said, guys, thank you. Thank you, kids. Continue the sport. Continue going to school. And keep up what you have. I mean, I brought a lot by hanging with you guys, and maybe I will give some to my friends over here, my colleagues, so as a team play. Thank you. Have a good night.
Counselors, thank you so much. Counselors, thank you. We do under communicate.
Don't leave, wait for us outside for a group picture. Wait for us outside for a group picture, please.
If you got a resolution or a citation, please don't, feel free to go in the hallway, but there's counselors who want photos, so please hang around. At this point, if there are no objections, there are several communications that are actually citations that are being sponsored by Councilor Dela Cruz. So if there's no objections, we're going to take document 229, 230, 231, 232, 233, 234, and 235. Councilor Dela Cruz, you have the floor.
Good evening, Council President and Councils. This is a great opportunity for me to do this presentation, to this citation, to people that really work in the community, that really work in the field of education and community service. And this is very important for me because today I will announce that is my last day as, I am not planning to come back as a city council, and today is, I'll be here until December 31st, but it's gonna be, I am not planning to reapply, and I hope the next person to be a dedicated person and to be a community service. That's all this 3A need for this community. Thank you. Then, it has been my pleasure to be in this city, in this community, as a teacher, as a mother, as a friend, all of that. We have people in the community that they pass by and we don't say the right words that they need to hear from us. And this time, I'm gonna say what I wanted to say first, and then I will say the name. You have been God's guidance to educate our community, not only with the yearly book fair and Teatro Alive. You have opened our eyes to renew Christianity and our city and work together as a team. Father Joel Almono has been like that godfather that took over the book fair, and he hasn't stopped. Now you hear him with the theater, and this is a great opportunity for our kids to learn about communication. Father Joel? Father Joel, would you like to say some words? You spoke about the theater.
Thank you so much. Very briefly, because I don't have any words for tell all of you about my feeling, because this kind of recognition is not only for me, it's for my community. This is the good example for they continue our steps. I'm sorry. I am very excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, God. Yes. Okay. I wanted to say all of these words. You have been more than a pen and person or piece of paper to our Lawrence kids. You have been that big brother, mentor, father, a friend who has taken our children's education to the Bread Love folder. You have been planting the seeds for our kids' spoken words. You have worked so hard to push our youth to have a voice. You still perform, even though Lawrence Public School slammed many doors on your face. You dedicated more time to our children than any Boston superintendent. You know our kids' idiosyncrasy inside out. You gave our kids power to become college graduates. Thanks for caring. Thanks so much. Lou? You You know that Lou was begging for a door to open when he was doing bread love to the kids in the city. And one of them is Roberto Roman, who is an excellent kid and graduated from college, and it is the professor. What can you say about you serving in our community?
Well, it's a great privilege to work in this community. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and Lawrence feels like Brooklyn to me, feels like home. And it's a great privilege to work with the parents and the kids in the city. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody.
And Tom's not here. That is killing him.
Yeah, I'll take another day. This is a person who, I don't know when does he have time to enjoy his life, because he's so young, and a young man dedicating his time to bring rules and regulations to change our city policies, enslaved in the hands of those who have stolen freedom to educate and move forward a city that has been shut down due to its silence. You are the voice that echo in the desert to wake up and stand up for the kid crying free at last. This is Jonathan Guzman. I went to a place Saturday and Jonathan was there. I was talking about education and Jonathan was there. This case.
All I'm gonna say real quick is, I thank you, Counselor, for acknowledging all these individuals in different areas are doing their piece for the education system and caring for our kids, because that's the main thing, is waking up every day, and it's true. I'm gonna be honest, even my mom tells me, they don't pay you. Why do you do this, right? She sees me come in, leave, come in, leave, come in. And all I tell her is the day that I pass away is the day that I will rest, because they are present now and we need to fight for them now in order to build a future for them later on. And I was placed here to educate, to provide, to engage, and ensure that those that have the tools in order to do best for our future generations. And I thank you all for always doing what you think is right in your own space and background to move the city forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. This is more responsibility for you, Jonathan. When I moved to this city, it was a lot of different cultures in here, and they welcomed me, and they didn't care what language I spoke, I was welcome. Then I felt like who I am to have all of those people giving me a hand. They helped me to keep raising my kids. Now they keep helping me raising my grandkids. Then this is a city where everybody's welcome. And in your 100-year celebration, the Three Saints celebration is a gathering of the Italian culture and commitments to a city that embraces not only your hard work and dedication to move this city forward. There has been celebration to honor the faith of those who believe that the higher power belongs to God, the Most Higher. Blessed are those who faithfully has made St. Alpheus a well-organized institution that after 100 years keeps supporting Corpus Christi Holy Rosary Church and now Holy Rosary Shrine. They are non-profit organization, and people get confused, and people don't help out because they are Christian, because they believe in God. But that's the price of believing in the Lord. Wayne? Corpus Christi has these people working diligently so hard every single day, every day. They wake up thinking about the lights on the street, thinking about how we're going to celebrate, and struggling for money because we don't provide for them. That's a shame, but at the same time, they are still here, and they celebrating the 100 years. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good job, good job.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I had 3 more citations. There is one citation for Mary Guerrero. She has the taller, which is a house to our young people. They have a place to go where they are welcome. They have a place where to see with their laptop, with their tattoo, with their hair, whatever, and she is welcome then all the time and providing jobs, making them entrepreneur and all of that. Then thank you to Mary Guerrero for doing all of that. Then Tom, who couldn't be here, Tom Meyer. Tom Meyer is always talking about this, the Chapter 70. Chapter 70 is the money that was stolen from the city of Lawrence that is coming back, we hope, for the education of our children. And I have 2 more people. One of them is somebody who served at this 3A Neighborhood Association all the time. He's always there, sweeping the street, doing whatever we need. And the last but not least is my husband, who didn't want to be here because he didn't want to be honored for being in back of the curtain, for working so hard, for making possible all of these years that Maria left the house to do community works. Then I'm very thankful to all of you. Thank you for electing me as a city council for this long time, but it's time to be a grandmother, and I love to be a grandmother. Then I'm saying goodbye. Thank you.
So, thank you so much. I think I'm gonna, in 1 second here, I'm going to look for a motion to recess so we can take some photos. But, Counselor, I mean, you buried the lead. I mean, you announced here, I never seen anything more dramatic than at the communications from officials. This is it. So, a bit of a surprise to many of us, and I think that all of us in our own way have more time to be more eloquent about this. But we're going to go through to the very end, but we do thank you for your service. And now with that, I'm going to look for a motion to recess for, I'm going to say 5 minutes, but I'm lying to you. Motion made over here by Councilor Infante, seconded by Councilor Levy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed no. The ayes have it.
Item 19123 is the disclosure of a conflict. Jose Gutierrez Lawrence School Department. I think that he's here, but it was sent to the full council with favor recommendation, and I make it as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by the Vice President. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. At this point, we're going to stop people in the audience who are here for a confirmation. If there's no objection, we're going to skip right to the Personnel Committee. Seeing that there's no objection, I'm looking to the Vice President for
Thank you. Councilors and Council President, the Personnel Committee met last week. We discussed item 18323, the appointment of Sharon Burchell to the Lawrence Airport Commission. This term will expire on July 15th, 2024, and this was brought to us by Mayor DePena, and we sent this up with a favorable recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
motion made and seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Congratulations, Matt. You're welcome. Madam Chair, document 18423.
Document 18423, the appointment of Andres Castillo to the Lawrence Airport Commission with his term expiring July 15, 2024. It was brought to us by Mayor DePena, and we sent this up as a favorable recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by Council Vice President. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Mr. Molly, if you're going to clap, you have to wait for the vote to finish first. Thank you.
Council President and colleagues, the next item is item 18523, the appointment of William Bill Collins to the Lawrence Airport Commission with his term ending July 15th of 2024. This was brought to us by Mayor DePena, and we sent this up with a favorable recommendation, and make that as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Discussion. See none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
The next item is item 18623, the appointment of Daniel M. Foley to the Lawrence Airport Commission with the term ending July 15 of 2025. This was brought to us by Mayor DePena, and the personnel sent it with a favorable recommendation, and I make this as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Discussion. See none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next document, Councilor.
The next item is item 18723, the appointment of Robert H. Irving to the Lawrence Airport Commission with a term expiring on July 15th, 2025. Brought to us by Mayor DePena, and the Personnel Committee sent this with a favorable recommendation. I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by the Vice President Reyes. Councilor, I oftentimes don't want to interject on these kinds of things, but when we have somebody who has received one of the highest military honors that the nation can provide, I just think that it needs to be noted, and the individual needs to be thanked. Mr. Irving received a Distinguished Flying Cross for his actions in Vietnam, and for that, Mr. Malley, please begin the applaud for this, because that's very appreciated. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, the ayes have it. Thank you, sir. Next, Madam Chair,
The next item is item 18823, the appointment of Doug Howe to the Lawrence Airport Commission with a term expiring July 15 of 2025, brought to us by Mayor DePena, and that was sent up to the council with a favorable recommendation. I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by the Vice President. Any discussion? Seeing none, sir, thank you for your service. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
The next item is item 18923, the appointment of Dana Amador Martis to the Lawrence Airport Commission with a term expiring July 15 of 2026, brought to us by Mayor DePena, and the Personnel Committee sent us with a favorable recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
And the last personnel item is item 19023, the appointment of Ernest R. Countermarsh to the Lawrence Airport Commission with the term expiring July 15 of 2026, brought to us by Mayor DePena, and the Personnel Committee sent this up with a favorable recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by the Vice President. Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all the new and renewed airport commissioners. We do appreciate your wanting to continue to serve our city and our region, frankly, in this capacity. And you have fantastic leadership with Director Urena. You're very wise to vote him on. And we wish you all the very best as you go forward in your duties. So thank you. Mr. Russell. Councilors, we have a few more items I'd like to take out of order. In this particular order, the fire chief is here. I'm going to be looking for the budget and finance to give 174. Then we have under old business, and we have a bunch of people here for 411C22. This is creating a better Lawrence. And then we can go, and I think School Committeeman Guzman is here. I want to take, as a courtesy, I want to take his items up early as well. So, Mr. Chairman of the Budget and Finance Committee, would you be able, I don't think there's any objection, would you please take document 17423?
Sure. The Budget and Finance Committee met and discussed item 17423, the fund transfer of $350,000 from free cash to the fire suppression overtime. It was sent out by the mayor and the chief Mariotti. It was sent out with a favorable recommendation. I would like to make that as a form of a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by the Vice President. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. If we can get why don't you go ahead, let's get these people out.
It's easy,
It's
it's
a long
easy.
night tomorrow, so go ahead.
Item 17523, which is the fund transfer of $1,618,910 from free cash to various reserve funds. It was sent out with a favorable recommendation, and I would like to make that as a form of a motion.
Motion made, seconded by the Vice President. All in favor, discussion. Sorry, it was really quick. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Item 17623, which is the SEIU Local 888 Parking Attendants Union CVA authorizations and $20,000 funding approval. It was sent out with a favorable recommendation, and I would like to make that as a form of motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Item 17723, which is the SEIU Local 3 Inspector Union CVA authorization and $98,100 funding to be approved. It was sent out with a favorable recommendation. I would like to make that as a form of motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Anna Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Item 17823, which is the year-end transfer between different accounts. It was put together by Mike Ianellos and discussed with the Budget and Finance Committee, sent out with a favorable recommendation, and I would like to make that as a form of a motion.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Fiscal year 2024 annual authorization with revolving funds and authorization to spend $357,980 PEC fund. It was was sent out with a favorable recommendation, and we would like to make that as a form of a motion.
Motion made and seconded by Counselor Selena Reyes. And is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Appropriation insurance proceeding estimated $502,258. Parton School roof damage. It was sent out with a favorable recommendation, and I would like to make that as a form of a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Item
The ayes
182.
have it.
Item 18223, which is the authorization to spend grant of $7,000 ECCF Summer Fund. It was discussed at the Budget and Finance Committee, sent out with a favorable recommendation. I would
Second.
like to make that as a form of a motion.
Motion's been made. It's been seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Counsel Vice President?
Yes, can I get a motion to suspend Rule 11 to subtract item 21623 from the Budget and Finances Committee?
Purposes of declaring it an emergency, I presume?
Yes.
For an item that's coming up at the end of the fiscal year. So there's a motion to,
With that said, Council President, I would like to recruit myself out of this item.
there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a recusal. I'll see that. There's a motion that's been made, and it's been to suspend the rules, and that's been seconded by Counselor Selena Reyes. Thank you. I'll call the question for roll call on all of these votes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. The motion to suspend the rules carries. Is there a second motion to declare an emergency? Let the record reflect that that was because at the end of the fiscal year and for the proper, there we go. And so both of those matters were under emergency. The next item right now is to approve.
Just to
Motion to approve?
second.
Motion made by the Vice President, seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion, and I do want to ask, Director Urena to, once again, because I think what happened was that this was in the committee, the chair had to recuse because of a potential conflict of interest, and that's why that was there, or else I think it would be up at this point, and then we just didn't capture it as table matters or under old business. But just very briefly, Director, could you just describe why we have to do this matter this evening and why it's an emergency as opposed to waiting till the next meeting?
Yeah, no, good evening, Council President. The reason why we are here and why this is so timely is because the end of the fiscal year is quickly approaching. This is the last meeting of the council with an opportunity for that Finance Committee to discuss that. And so because there was a lack of quorum with one member recusing, so what the airport applied for was a grant for the Department of Transportation to replace our front loader, which is a 25-year-old machine. We did receive a favorable grant of $208,000 that represents an 80% cost share. We, through the airport, will be able to acquire this replacement. And so what we are here today is to bring before you the grant assurances that the item will be used for the purposes of the airport, that the item will be used for 20 years, that the item will remain as an asset to the airport. And so that is the reason why we are before you all, councilor members and Mr. President.
Thank you for the explanation. If there's no questions or comments on this matter, I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Counselor Infante?
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes? Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez has recused himself. Counselor Russell.
Yes.
Counselor Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Counselor Levy.
Yes.
Council Vice President Estela Reyes.
Yes.
Council President LaPlante.
Yes, the motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Director.
President.
We are going to go back. Now I'd like to go under old business for document 411C22. If there's no objection, again, we would need to, to suspend the rules because we're not sending this down to the committee, and then we will make a motion apparently to approve. So is there a motion to suspend the rules to not send it down? Motion made by the Vice President, seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. I'm looking for a motion on this item.
Second.
Second.
Motion made by the Vice President, seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Discussion. Is there discussion on this matter? This is, Mr. Spanner.
Yes, good evening, Council President, City Councilors. We received approximately 39 applications? 50? 51 applications. And from the 51 applications, there were a couple that were denied because there were private businesses and were not they were not included in the list. Also, there are 2 other applications which involves positions or board members or directors that are city employee, that the City of Lawrence employee, that we have requested the city attorney to look into the matter until we get a response, whether it would be favorable or not, in regards to the conflict of interest. Once we receive those information, then those applicants will be included in the list as requested.
So thank you. So I think just process, and I'll ask the clerk for a little bit of help on this. So as a process, there's 2 that are part of the packet, but it would be premature at this point to adopt them until there's clearance or some sort of satisfaction provided by the Secretary of State's office, the Ethics Commission.
The Ethics, yeah,
Commission, right? Just to
Commission.
make sure that everything is fine. So what we could do, if the councilors are so willing, is that we could modify this particular motion to have a conditional approval on the entire package.
Provided that.
And do this, does each one of these have a number so that the clerk can easily identify which one it is?
Yes. You give us a few seconds. Just mention it.
Okay, so the ones that would be contingent would be Saturday, Legacy is number 27?
No, not Saturday. The domestic violence ones.
Okay. So My Life Program, which is number 45 on the list. And this one, right? And number 46, International Veterans Care Services, Inc.
Very good. I'm going to pause you right there. Councilor Russell has been asked to be recused for a potential conflict of interest issue. So thank you. Councilor Russell will not be present for this vote. Okay, thank you. So do we identify and give a number?
We're going to get authorization from state ethics?
They're going to alert us when there's some sort of sufficient clearance of some sort.
Yeah, just for the public, and this is FYI to the City Council, the procedures as follow. That the city attorney has or will contact the individuals, the city employees that are involved. They would have to make a request or ask the Ethics Commission if there's any findings on the ethics violation law, if there's any. If there's none, or if there is, that information should be reported to city attorney's office, city clerk's office, and then they will, if there's no conflict, then they will be automatically included in the packet.
Council President.
Which one is that?
I saw the Fonte's hand first, and then I heard Councilor Rodriguez after. Councilor Fonte.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President. I was so into reviewing these numbers that I forgot myself. I also need to recuse myself due to employment conflict of interest.
Councilman Fonte is now recusing herself from any further discussion or a vote. Councilor Rodriguez?
Just wanted to, I wasn't here at the beginning of the discussion. So what are the projects that city employees might have some interest on it?
Yeah, you can repeat it.
The numbers?
Yeah,
The-
so
the
it's,
number.
it's number 45 and 46. Number 45 is My Lifeline program, and number 46 is International Veterans Care Services, Inc. Good evening, council members.
And Councilor, there has been, or this, just for the record, Councilor Selena Reyes is part of the LCW, which has also been a part of the applicant. However, their application is not being considered, and I believe Councilor, when is not part of the organization, will not be part of the organization soon. So that's not included in the package.
Anything else, councilors? Councilor De La Cruz.
Mr. For being here one more time. And this is a great opportunity for a lot of organizations in the city of Lawrence understand that they're not alone, that they're getting the support from the mayor's office. And at the same time, I wanted to say thank you because most of these organizations are disappearing, lack to the money that they don't get from the different sources that we get grants. They are going to stay on. They are going to keep working. What we really need to do is to have this kind of program like yearly. For example, Semana Hispana, they always looking for so much amount of money that it is every year that they have to struggle with this. And as Semana Hispana, San Alfio, and all of those institutions, if that is in place for the different organizations in the city, then it's going to be a plus. Because believe it or not, each one of those organizations are really serving the community, are really making a better things for our community. Then they must be happy that they are on that list, that they can get some amount of money. But how can we make this to be a law, to be part of the ordinance of the city of Lawrence, that they get this every year? Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, Councilor.
Mr. Spanner?
Yes, I would like to also acknowledge that we have Susan. Susan and Katie, please stand up or come closer. The job is not completed, but I would like to thank the Planning and Community Development team that participated, Purchasing Department as well that helped us with the application process, the contracts that we are going to submit. I just wanted to let you know and remember in the beginning, Council President, you did have your concerns among others about managing of staff managing the program, if we had the capacity or not, but we did. And so far, we are continuing to do our work. I would also like to thank my colleague, Mark Iannello, that has been patient and also guiding both the mayor and staff concerning regarding this process. We are going to continue to diligently monitor. This is a reimbursement project. So each applicant need to use their funds, whether they have the funds or they would have to eventually seek some funds, and then once they demonstrate that they have fulfilled the program, they will be reimbursed. We are going to be very meticulous in terms of knowing how the funding are going to be used for. how they are spent. There's certain flexibility with it, but we want to make sure that our Lawrence community and residents are served through this program. And I would like to also thank all of you for having the confidence and patience with all of us.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Council President, through you. So, is this gonna be similar to the CDBG's funds in terms of reporting? Or you gonna have your own type of system?
We're going to have our own system. It's, as I mentioned during the presentation, there's going to be, we're going to use a CIPP model, context, input, process, and product, to see how each of one of the human services, like Parks and Rec, and let's say if it's a housing program, economic development, might be a little different. That we will be using the key performance indicator of what each one of these, for instance, a loan program, how they are.
No, I mean on this particular part of the funds, because we have.
Yes, there are different evaluation models that are going to be used. So if you say you're going to use the money, for instance, as a loan program, or you're going to need it for a technical assistance, the applicant or those that are participating, let's say, just to mention, organization X that is catering to the small business community, they're not going to receive that money until we see exactly the names of the organizations, how much money they're going to use, and how it's going to be spent, and the outcome measurement. So if we help you as a small business, or the funds, taxpayers' funding, are going to these organizations to help the small businesses, they need to report, how many applicants they received, what type of services they received, and, what is the outcome, because there should be an outcome. So if you have an applicant says that we're going to be certified as a MBE organization, or WMBE organization, or a DCAM, or a US SBA 8A, then we need to get that evidence that took place. So applicants don't use that money, and there's no accountability for it.
But the money is not going to be used to get certifications, right?
No, part of it, yes.
But I mean, because those certifications are mostly free. The one that you just mentioned.
Certifications are free, but there might be bookkeeping, let's say, issues that they may encounter, that they need bookkeepers, they need the technical assistance for it. So we need to provide, that's why these organizations are receiving money, that they don't work, let's say, on a voluntary basis. They need to be paid for the time that they're taking to help these organizations, our businesses, our enterprises.
All right, that's on the loan part. So let's say on that, and you were mentioning right a couple of minutes ago that the organization is going to have to use the money first. Do the project first with their own money, and then they're going to get reimbursed.
Reimbursed.
That's different than the loan program, right? So how that going to work?
Totally different. Yes.
How that going to work? Like, how they going to?
So
how we're going to make sure that the project is done?
So assuming that our organization received $50,000, let's say $50,000, and during that period they have expended $10,000, and they want reimbursement for the $10,000. They would be evaluated based on those $10,000, showing receipts, where they use the funding, and the same results, what has been the success rate of their program. So if they said they're going to serve, let's say, 20 clients, then we want to see also who are the clients, what are the names, are they local organizations or not. These funds are not to help organizations outside Lawrence, but both for organizations that are in Lawrence and for our residents.
Is the fund, are you gonna allow the fund to be spent on rent?
Yes.
For those organizations?
Yeah, that could be, if it's necessary, yes, in justifying the rent, of course, as part of it.
And
because some organization may need to rent equipment, maybe the rental of space, or maybe transportation-related issues, as long as they can show proof that it's benefiting a program, not a you know, an office space just to have an office space. That's not the purpose of it.
And it could be also used for salaries, right?
Yes, a portion would be used. I believe, Susan, I think there's a formula that we're using. Basically, with nonprofit organizations, most of the time, the funding, if you receive any public funding, it could not be used entirely for salaries. A percentage of that, I believe it's 27% of the amount received could be used for salary.
Can you make sure about that percentage, because I thought that was 10%.
No, well, not anymore, it's 10%, but I'll double check for you, and I would make sure that we can send.
Yeah, I just want to make sure about that, because I mean, I wouldn't like to see most of the money go on salaries. We criticize that all the time when different programs come in front of us, because that could be an issue. So essentially, if we're going to serve any particular part of this of the Lawrence community, we want most of the money to be served and to be used for that. And if rent could be used for the program, as well as salaries could be used for the program, and if that percentage if the percentage that could be used for salaries is 27%, do you have any threshold as to how much of the grant can be used for rent?
We can provide that information and details to you. I know there's other staff members have been working on this, and to provide you with that information right now, we don't have it accessible, but we provide it for you.
I just want to make sure, because I mean, if you think about it, 27, I thought it was 10%, which rent might add up, and then it could become 30 between the two of them, so 70% could be used for the program. But if salaries is 27% and rent could be a higher percentage, so how much that would be for the actual program?
Right.
So I'm wondering about the takeoff of both of those items. Do you have like any idea, or probably not necessarily, but because each individual program might have different type of percentage, but I mean, do you have, I mean, could you guess, not right now, but eventually provide it to us, like how much the percentage would be for other things other than the program, the rent and the salaries?
We will provide you with the information. What I do know is that each one of the applicants have provided a breakdown of what their the funds would be used, and I think that would be a good guideline for us as well.
All right, thank you,
But we
Council
will
President.
provide it to you not later than next week.
All right, thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you, Council President.
If there's no further discussion, I'll ask the clerk, and we do have the motion with the contingencies or a part of the motion, clerk?
Actually, at this moment, we just have a motion to approve, and it does need to be amended to become a motion to approve with the condition that the applicants numbered 45 and 46 receive authorization or approval from the State Ethics Commission, that this is not a violation of this or conflict of state ethics law.
Do you want to amend your motion to include that? So the motion has now officially been amended to include the language that the clerk just stated, and it's been seconded. If there's no further discussions, I'll ask the clerk.
Can you clarify the question? Are we going to keep those two projects here, or we're going to approve it pending that information?
Second.
Or how it's going to be?
Go ahead.
I'm reading this to say that you are approving it with those two applicants in there, but no disbursements would be made to either of them until they get their clearance from the state. That's not what you want.
It's up to her, it's her motion, so. Okay. Right. Motion's been made, again, and properly second. At this point, I will ask the clerk to please call the roll. Clerk?
I'm sorry, Council President. Can you repeat the motion?
Clerk, will you please read the motion?
There's a motion to approve with the condition that the applicants numbered 45 and 46 receive authorization or approval from the State Ethics Commission, that this is not a violation of the state ethics or conflict of interest law. If they do not receive those, until they receive those clearances, if ever, they cannot get their disbursement.
And just a clerical question, do we need 6 votes for this?
This is, you have already allocated the funds. We had this conversation once before on the same item.
It's a five
It's a
vote.
5 vote, because you already, 6 is to allocate funds. The funds are already allocated. You're just now approving subsections, yeah.
This is a five vote. So at this point, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Levy.
Yes.
Counselor Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Counselor Russell is noted as recused. Counselor Rodriguez.
Yes.
Counselor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes.
Yes.
Counselor Infante is noted as recused. Council Vice President Reyes.
Yes.
Council President LaPlante.
Yes, the motion carries. At this point, my friends with the translation services, is there anyone at this point currently using any of the devices? That's good. We'll just continue on. Thank you. We're going to go back because, where's Mr. Guzman? Is he here, or did we lose him? We lost him. If there's no objection, Mr. Guzman is here with the school committee. I'm going to ask the ordinance committee vice chair to give the committee report for document 33522.
Item 33522 is a resolution elected Lawrence School Committee Jonathan Guzman, Vice Chair of the School Committee. It was sent to the full council without recommendation. At this time, at the labor of the subcommittee, we request the presence of the city attorney, also to discuss this item. This committee had no documentation for review and discuss at the time that it was presented to the ordinance committee. I'll make it as a formal motion. We send it without recommendation.
Motion is made, essentially committee report without a recommendation. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Any discussion on the committee report without a recommendation? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Is there a motion?
At the labor of the ordinance, we ask the city attorney to be present.
The
So-
city attorney is with us via Zoom.
Okay, so he's via Zoom, so we would like to hear the city attorney.
Do you have a
please.
question? All right, so City Attorney Hooten, are you with us?
Can you hear me? I'm speaking, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay.
Council Levy, do you have a question?
Yes, it was a resolution regarding Mr. Jonathan Guzman, who is the vice chair of the school committee. So he sent you all the information, and we were supposed to have you today to speak about to the council regarding the information submitted by Mr. Guzman.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
Yes, we're looking for the documentation and also for you to explain the committee what is in regard of this information.
Okay. First off, let me state, as I did prior, is that I am not an advocate for or against any resolution. That's not my job. This is the resolution of Mr. Guzman. The council votes it up and votes it down based on his presentation, not on mine. My job was to look at what he proposed. I put it, what I thought, into a more readable and more, let's call it legal form, from the original draft that I got. At the end, Mr. Guzman, as you can see, has a red version. He wanted more information added. I felt that my version was fine, but you as a board can decide which version you prefer, if any.
I'll take the mic right here. So,
Mr.
counselors,
Guzman.
yeah, counselors, just for clarification, all of us have in front of us several documents.
Yes.
In the several document packet is one of them that deals with this, and you'll see inside the paper clip 3 different versions. The original, the one that was sent by Mr. Guzman to the city attorney, and then the document that was, that Mr. Hooton just described, that he went ahead and he cleaned it up and put things in proper legal format, et cetera, so, according to form. So you'll see three different things. I believe what's we're dealing with this evening is that third piece, which is the document that came from the city attorney's office that the city attorney just described. Councilor Levy.
Mr. Guzman, do you have any comments on this regard, please?
Yeah, so Jonathan Guzman, Vice Chair of the Lawrence School Committee, once more, thank you for giving us the time. I want to acknowledge Committeeman Santiago Reyes Cruz from District B, who's here with us today. Councilors, what we have before us is a simple resolution of your opinion in supporting an elected school committee, and also with the opinion under Chapter 12, where we have discussed again and again on our standing in the school committee level, and also requesting this board as the legislative board of the city of Lawrence to support in order to move forward our findings. Particularly on the resolution in this particular opinion is asking the city of Lawrence Council to support an elected school committee now and moving forward. As an elected board, city council yourself. And what the attorney, and we thank the attorney for providing his legal version of this particular resolution piece. What the committee did, we looked at his piece that he recommended, because we also got a copy. And what we added was specific language of the actual law, just to be more precise on where we're getting this information from. Like on paragraph 2, we're adding, and this is the one with the red language on it. We added the particular year, right? Act 2010. We added Chapter 69 has 1K, 1J. We are currently on 1J as chronically underperforming. So this is information that is valuable that we need to have, right? Accurate information within this. The second paragraph, again, it brings back that particular chapter of the Acts of 2010, Chapter 12, which is the main indication of the conversation that we're having here today. It brings back, again, 1K, 1J, and that's basically what you see until you get into the be it resolved. On the be it resolved, our committee send it to specific area and spaces within offices on the state level and locally, and that's what we're asking within that particular part of the resolution. Asking the only body and the only elected official in this Commonwealth that can look at the law, activate a division, and say, is what's happening and what this committee and the city of Lawrence is putting as an opinion, is their weight on it, right? And they will act upon it, not us, right? And then for full transparency of what is happening to ensure that all parties that are involved, that is the following paragraph where a certified resolution must go. That is simply it. Our additions to it was adding language of what the legislation is you're grabbing from to build this, right, as an opinion. And the following ones is to send it for, to the attorney office. And the following paragraph after that, transparency and accountability, ensuring that the parties are involved and parties that should know that this is happening get a certified copy.
Are you done? So, councilors, I do see that another councilor wishes to speak. I also know that the administration is represented here this evening and also has a comment. I think it would be in order to hear the administration's perspective on this. Mr. Spanner?
Yes, good evening, councilors. Again, Octavian Spanner, Senior Advisor to the Mayor. This is the issue. I think on the second page where it says, whereas we believe DESE is not in compliance. Our school system is under state receivership now for 11 years. And to go through this process of saying that, and especially now, that we have a new LAE board that is working towards, number one, the exit, because as you know, most of you that are in this council supported the mayor in terms of removing the school from under state receivership, is working diligently on a plan. We all know that you cannot remove a school that's under state receivership without having a plan how to exit. So to say now that DESE is not in compliance while you have a board that is working, just initiated the process, is counterproductive. That doesn't mean that once the state has released our school system for under receivership, then of course you can change the process. But during the process of a school transition plan, and while this administration is working diligently to remove the school, the Lawrence Public School System, from under state receivership, to start with this process doesn't make any sense. So we would advise that you, in order, before you make a decision, or if you are in doubt about the decision to make, to really table this matter until you can get better information concerning this process.
Council President.
And Councilor Rodriguez, Councilor De La Cruz.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to have 3 items here that I would like to discuss. Number one, I remember when the school committee voted against a superintendent in this city, and the superintendent was removed. Do you remember those times? He was removed because of the school committee making a decision that he was not working for us. That's number one. Number two, the city attorney, I would like to tell you that you work for us. And when you're working for us, you have to find the right ordinance that we need to move forward. We cannot vote on this case, on these 3 letters that has been sent to you, because at the beginning, you were not appointed. Then it seems to be that this is not part of you. You forgot that we, as city council, we are asking you to put the ordinance in place. Third, the LE board has been there for 11 years, and we still don't have the school back to the city of Lawrence. We need to have the school back to us. We need to make decision as a city councilor, because we put in most of the taxpayer money, we are putting it into education. Then what's going on in this city? It seems to be that we don't care about the schools. We want those schools back. DC is not the one to decide for the city of Lawrence. We want our kids to be bilingual, to be dual language, to be three language. It's our decision as the city of Lawrence. Then I understand how long we're gonna wait for the receivership to be here? 11 years? It's a shame on us. 11 years is too much. 10 years is too much that seems to be that we're looking through the other side. We, as city councilor, we are responsible for this. Not the mayor, the city councilors. I don't think this is the major situation with the LEE board. It is the school committee that was elected by the city to serve the people in the city. And we are not doing anything to solve this problem. What are we waiting for? We cannot even make a decision if you want metal detectors on the schools just because DC and the LE board, they have decided not to do it. While our kids are not being safe in schools. Those decisions have to come from the community. And we guys, we represent the community. We are the city councilor. Boston can say whatever they want, but they are not here on a daily basis to confront the situation that we are confronting. Right now, we don't have a superintendent. She left. She never lived in this city. She didn't care about this city. But we all live in this city, and we were elected by the people to defend the people. See how many kids were honored today? Because we have to honor them. Is the school honoring these kids? Is the school caring about these kids eating lunch every day? You know, a lot of kids, they don't drink the water from the school buildings. And nobody cared about it. These kids are suffering from diabetes at the age of 11 because we don't have a group of parents that are working for the kids. What are we waiting for? With all my respect to the mayor, I understand that he wanted to see the changes, that he wanted to wait, but this is a problem of the city councilors. It is us who has to decide if we want a school committee to be who were elected by the city, by the people. I didn't vote for Jonathan. Jonathan was not in my district. This is not about Jonathan. This is about us. This is about our kids. Can you believe that they throw more food in the garbage than the food that they allow our kids to eat? No kid is allowed to eat twice. They rather throw the food in the garbage. Do you know that? It's no parents because parents are working full time. Parents are working 24/7 to put food on the table of those kids. It is us who has the responsibility to make the changes that we need. We have a superintendent that left. He left. He didn't care. He's a commissioner now. He's making more money. He's just sending more charge to the city of Lawrence, but he's not resolving the problems of the city of Lawrence. If we wouldn't have the ARPA money, we wouldn't have enough money to build the 2 schools that we're building at this moment. I'm lucky that the mayor supported. He wouldn't say no if he wanted to. What are we waiting for? I'm asking to my colleagues, to my friends, to the people that were elected by the people, what we're going to do. The attorney, he has to sit down, like he writes any ordinance for any little things in this city. He can sit down with the school committee, with the city councilor, and make the decision that we need to make. We need to take these schools out of the receivership. We need them to leave because they're not benefiting. They don't live in this city. They don't buy water in this city. Do they care about this city? No. It is on our responsibility. And we had to make a decision tonight. We had to make a decision. We had to tell the attorney, sit down, find the ordinance, and let's work together with the school committee. That's what we need to do. But we keep sending this back to ordinance. I see our ordinance committee. We are tired of seeing this article in there. More than anything else, I have seen Jonathan with a 335 document. I think as an educator, I care a lot about this community. I wanted to say thank you, Mr. Gregory, for you just looking at those kids and honoring them because they deserve more than what they're getting. It doesn't have to be you who has to go through them. You have to be the teachers. You have to be the system that we are not changing. What are we doing to make this city a better educated city? Why did I honor Lou Vernieri? Lou has been taking our kids to college. When are we going to stop this? This is the joke. This is not about the actual school committee that we have. It is about that they had no power to make a meeting in any of the schools for the parents at night, on Saturdays, on Sundays. A lot of parents, they cannot go to meeting during the week. They don't have a voice to say, open the school on Saturday. I remember when I said to one of the superintendents, Mr. LaBoy, open the school Saturday, I want to do exercise with the kids. And he sent a security, and he sent somebody, the police, and all of that to take care of us when we were playing or doing exercise or playing basketball at the Leonard School. Then what else are we waiting for? What else are we waiting for? And I hope the attorney, the city attorney, to understand that he works for the city councilors. He doesn't work for DC. We don't care about DC. DC, thank you. But most of the money that people are paying taxes in this city, it goes to the Department of Education, yes or not? Oh, I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Most of the money that comes to the city from Chapter 70 comes for the education of our kids. And the school committee, they don't even get a piece of paper explaining to them how is the money being used, because they don't talk about it. They don't tell anybody about it. They tell DC, people who are in Boston, do they care about this city? I think it's a joke, and it's a lack of respect. I think it's about to do something. What are we waiting for? We don't have parents to fight for the kids. It is us who has to do the job. And you're going to excuse me, but I think it's about time that this item be taken out forever, or this item move forward, because it is a joke that we're doing. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, councilors. Listen, it is 9/11 right now. We could spend a lot of more time. Mr. Guzman has been many, many times. I'd like to see if we can just be mindful of the time as we go forward. I'd like for us, if we can get our comments done in a timely and coherent fashion. I'd like to get us done by this, if we can, by 9:30. Councilor Rodriguez.
Yes, I'm just going to take the next 15 minutes on this. All right, I have a few questions for the city attorney and the administration, actually, because they're waiting already. Mr. Spanner, finally get it right, Spanner. So since you are waiting into this discussion on a resolution that actually it's an official opinion of the city of Lawrence through the city council, by definition, I would like to, I hear you saying that there is a plan to actually take the city of Lawrence of receivership.
Yes.
You guys are planning on, working on the plan, or you guys have a plan, or?
We are working, to answer your question, yes, we're working together with the state, with the governor's office. We requested a meeting directly with the governor's office to have conversations concerning the exiting from the school under state receivership, which we are in agreement that it has been taking too long. Any executive in any other enterprise would have been fired.
Okay.
Okay.
So
we're working on it.
Okay. So we have request a meeting with the governor to talk about the plan.
Yes, to talk about the plan, and we have also initiated the transition plan. So that means we have a consultant, the same consultant that worked with the Lawrence Prosperity Plan. We have requested, he's been working and evaluating and reviewing all other schools that have been under state control to see the process, how did it go, do comparison, and make recommendations to the LAE board, to the mayor as well as to the LAE board.
So right now we have two things I hear. So we have a consultant that is working with the administration to initiate the conversations, and we have request a meeting with the governor to be able to, we have those conversations.
And in addition, and I don't know if it's ethically, Council President, but we have our state representative that has also been in the meeting with our state delegation, that all of them have been invited to come to the meeting.
So as you can see, we have a discussion tonight about the receivership that we have on the Lawrence Public Schools, and in different discussions, and people have different opinions about where we stand. Because on my end, the most information I get is the one that you just said. I have no information whatsoever as of where the city stands when it comes to the receivership or the plans that we have. And that's the reason why, one of the reasons why maybe how the school committee have decided to put something in front of us for us to make an opinion about the issue. For us to make a resolution on this issue, I think that we have to have all the information available. The plans that you guys are working on, the correlationship between the school committee, the LEE board, and the administration, so we can make a determination as of, where our resolution, which become an opinion from the city of Lawrence about the issue. So I think that at some point, those information need to be shared, because we, as a council, have to have an opinion. We don't want to deviate from what the administration, in combination with other groups, including the school committee, is working on. Because otherwise, we're going to have an opinion on this body, the school committee have another opinion, the LEE board is going to have another opinion, and the state going to look at us from the top and said, they just not getting it together.
Exactly.
So we have to have one opinion. But one opinion doesn't mean that the administration is going to have only one voice. That means that they're going to have to get together with other groups, including the city council, the school committee, and the LEE board. Otherwise, we're not going to have the school back. It's not one group. And we have to have a team. And I'm going to state it again. The difference between a team and a group is that on one group, when somebody fails, that person fails, or that section fails. When in a team, when a section of the team failed, the entire team failed. We have to have one opinion. We are about to have this discussion about a resolution that is an official opinion from the city of Lawrence, having different set of conversations around. What stay there on that resolution that was proposed by the school committee, a lot of the stuff that is there is actually truth. But we don't want to just say, this is the opinion, and not being able to work with you, the administration, to actually have a comprehensive opinion about the issue. Because mentally, all of us want the same thing. We want the receivership to be out. For that, we have to get it together.
I don't want to interrupt the counselor, but at least from the end, my recommendation would be on behalf of the mayor. Since the mayor, remember, when the mayor took office a year and a half ago, a year and 7 months, there was a transition with the former administration, referencing the governor's office. We started those conversations immediately when we came. We met with the Commissioner of Education. We went back and forth based on the procedure, on the understanding that with this administration, there's no other condition than removing our school system from the state receivership. I agree with you, and I believe that your proposal in terms of sitting, I think the best approach would be That's why we have our state delegations that are with us. The mayor has been working with them. The new LAE board members were not individuals. Some of them were recommended by the mayor, but the state delegation was requested, and correct me if I'm wrong, Councilor Reyes, of making recommendations to the new elected board members to be, who the new board members were going to be on the LAE board. We were not going to fight butts head immediately because that's not how you negotiate. First of all, what we requested was to have a separate meeting through the lieutenant governor to discuss primarily the dissatisfaction that the mayor has, this administration, and also representing the city, that this process has taken too long. However, to be in a position that we would be at odds with, let's say, the commissioner or whoever, even the school leadership, didn't make any sense because they have information that is pertinent. There's certain things that we may not be happy, but the information that based on a private consultant, independent person to evaluate someone with experience that has been working with different school systems can better enlighten us about the process instead of sending a document after 11 years, and some of you have already been on the city council, that states, hey, listen, DESE has been doing things that are not according to the law. Then first of all, my question would be, how did the school became under the control of the state under state receivership? And second of all, the question would be, and during all those 11 years, we have been sitting like like a duck, waiting for what? So obviously, the school was underperforming. The state had to take control, but I think the right process is to first have a plan to remove and then present this plan to even the governor and telling the governor, listen, we're ready. And that's it.
No, I definitely understand that there might be a process that you guys are working on for sure. But as you can see, this discussion, this opinion could take on and become an official opinion if 5 councilors decide to go vote for it. Do we want that? I don't think so, but I mean, at least we have to get us involved, get other parties involved so we can work together on that. The state delegation is involved, perfect, great, we need them, big time. The school committee might not involve because they have this resolution in front of us today. The LEE board is the receiver. They should be involved, but they knew. So the administration took on that project since you guys began to work on it, which is perfect. Let's work together. Let's get an opinion, an official, strong opinion as to what we need and what we want, and let's make it happen. But we need to know what's going on. You know what I mean? It's not about, it's about of just communicating with, the check and balance body, which is the city council. I mean, it's not, we can, and as well as the school committee. It's like we need to know what's going on.
Thank you.
Councilor Vice President Reyes, and then Councilor Del Rosario.
To Councilor Rodriguez and also Councilor De La Cruz. I know that this is a frustration for you, but unfortunately, at this point, I only can second what Mr. Spender has been saying. Mr. Jonathan Guzman has been at the State House multiple times requesting all that information that we might need to know by hands. At this point, we can't release any information, but one thing that I can tell you that we are working diligence to make this happen. This is not only to come and see that the city attorney cannot put an ordinance together, because this is not about that. We had more concern about to have our school back and be able to function as the way and provide what we think we can to our kids. But if I may, I think it's not saying no to what Mr. Guzman has been asking, but I would like to table this until we had more information. He knows, we've been talking about this, and I would like to make a motion to table.
Council, before you do, Councilor Del Rosario did want to say
May
a few
the
words.
item proponent also speak?
Whoa. Councilor Del Rosario would like to speak. Would that be okay? And then I will recognize you. Councilor Del Rosario, do you wish to speak? You're good? Okay, so you're making a motion at this point to...
Table.
Is there a second to the motion? See no second to the motion fails. Councilors.
May the proponent speak? A lot of the stuff on the items got met. Is that through the chair? Is that fine?
Sure, I don't see any objection to that. I think we're at 9:25.
Thank you. I appreciate your diligence and your support on this, Counselor. One of the things that I want to mention quickly is Chapter 12, right? We talk about the particular piece of Chapter 12, putting into it as a violation. It is a violation because your attorney looked at it and left it on the resolution as an opinion from this board. So you tell me, you hire him. And he wrote it, he left it on it, we wrote it, we provided it, and there's the guidance provided to you. If it was something that shouldn't be there, he would eliminate it as he did. Look at the first one that we gave. Look at the stuff that he took out. Look at it, right? That's one. Our particular space on Chapter 12 is, and our standing on that is, that it clearly states that it has to be an individual and nonprofit with a proven record of working with underperforming schools. And I dare to call Mr. Spanier here and tell me who in that board has a proven record of working with underperforming schools. None of them. Even the chair itself has told me I don't, because they don't have it. When I came here in September 2022, I came with that to your information. Not only with that, I also came that the nonprofit was illegally being bined. March 2023, look at the Secretary of State office. They fixed it. We left them, fixed it. The first share got removed because of conflict of interest. Money, we have that on our power and we're gonna be releasing it. You tell me when enough is enough. When enough is enough. Chapter 69, 1K, 1J clearly states that the school committee, a body that is still subject to the open meeting law, meets and discuss the receivership. Not the executive branch, not the delegation, with all the respect. School committee. We're the ones that do the turnaround plan. We're the ones to discuss how we're gonna move our schools back, right? The state and DESE, on their first turnaround plan, they failed, which clearly states that they are gonna provide the tools necessary to build a well-rounded school committee. They failed. I was not in the school committee, guys. You have never seen a school committee member pushing these guys to do the job that they're doing each and every day to get our schools back, even if that's working with them or demanding to be treated as other. There's other receiverships that se quedan con la boca, their mouths drop with the things that I tell them that we go through. Like the Crowley reports, which are on the law. It clearly states written Crowley reports. The state today cannot give me those because they don't have none. We're right now working with the Secretary of State to demand those to be given to us. Because the one that we just got is one, the first one of all of them. Quarterly report 3 from the Superintendent Juan Rodriguez. Where's 1 and where's 2? 3, where's 1 and where's 2? And if you look at the stuff that he gave us, there's no metrics. And it clearly states in Chapter 69 that there has to be metrics. And when you look at the Holyoke report, oh my God, that's accountability. That's how you know they care about. So overall, the LEE board members, and when we look at how this particular piece got built, like we are the bridge, the school committee, not the city council. When we come before you, is to fight for a governing body that is under your city charter as an elected school committee, to keep it as an elected school committee, and to join us on these conversations, and as a body that holds power, to go to the attorney office and say, if they're in the wrong, fix it. Because it's your job to look at the law and hold agencies accountable that are not doing it. When we look at the LAE is the receiver, right? Under Chapter 69, the receiver holds all the powers of the school committee. Who's the school committee? Creates policies for the schools, can fire a superintendent hire, right? Under the LAE, who is the receiver that has that power, under their bylaws, under a contract, an MOU, it gives the power back to the commissioner, where the commissioner has the last say to fire or hire a superintendent. Julia Silverio, on her last day, mentioned this, that everything that they voted for, they received correspondence from the state saying, you cannot vote for this. So when these things are happening, and I want to make sure that all this information that is coming to you, we want to work with the administration. We're not part of those tables. You know, we're considered a disturbance. We're considered a space that, you know, because we have no vote, we don't matter. But guess what? We work every day with our parents. We work with community members, with students. We provide the guidance through policies that were already established. And when we need to fix them, we go through who has the power, the LAE, the budget hearings, right? Councilor Levy mentioned during the hearing, how was your community engagement? 2 people, myself and Maui. You asked them, what do you do? How do you post it? Eagle Tribune, an English paper that you gotta pay for. Imagine that. How great do you create barriers for our people to be involved in the discussion of audits? But overall, you know, we wanna say again and again, like, when is gonna be the right time? When will we really push forward? I wanna say it again, like, there is a structure getting built. Clearly, it's not an elected structure because we're not being involved on it. How so? We want to talk about the LAE, right? We got new members. Members that got appointed a day and voted on a budget on a Monday, on a Wednesday. They discussed it on a Monday, got appointed on a Friday, discussed it on a Monday, voted on a Wednesday. A budget of how many schools? The biggest employer of our city, and they voted on that.
School committee, I want to ask you just to kind of wrap up your thoughts here. I know that the city attorney wishes to comment on one of your, or at least one of your comments. So just if you wouldn't mind wrapping up.
Thank you. I came before you and told you that, you know, the compliance piece, and, you know, one of the main areas and where we want to talk about working with different offices and being able to consult. Like, if there's such a transition plan, I don't recall this body voting to spend funding on a consultation for a transition plan for Lawrence Public Schools. I just want to make you aware of that, right? Transition plan comes after the school committee, who has the sole authority to call for termination, which we did. We did, if you all recall, when Kendra Vasquez was the acting mayor, and we found out, which we're fighting it, that Bessie, the Board of Education, did not even get the termination because the commissioner blocked it. We are here simply asking one thing. I understand the administration speaks. It's like, hey, we're working on something. You guys coming and saying this is basically like you might disrupt what's happening. Why are things happening behind doors? Why are we not being part of those conversations as a public body? That is literally why when you call the Attorney General office and you ask them, why are we still open to the subject to the open meeting law? Because you are the sole authority that can have a conversation as a body with the receiver on termination purposes and on transition plans. Multiple times, we had the opportunity to question them through budget, which we're doing that and trying to support the city. There've been a lot of questions on Chapter 70 money being spent, and we're doing it. But again, I ask you, release this. Let's get to work. Let's see what happens, right? Discussions that are happening behind doors, we appreciate you because I know you have intentions, but if you really at that state level want to work with us, 3 out of 4 delegates, our delegation, are not supporting the Thrive Act, which is a legislation that got pushed through to end receivership. So if your intention is to end receivership, you should have been on top of that already, but we're not. So what is the right intention? Let's not wait. I ask you to please release this. We're just asking the Attorney General office, look into the law, look at the stuff that we have and what we're saying here, and just give it your recommendation. If you believe that they're in compliance, we're good. We did our check.
Thank you, Mr. Guzman. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
I think the city attorney wishes to make a comment. City Attorney Hooton.
Thank you very much. I first would like to state that this is a resolution. This is not an ordinance. This is not a law. This is a statement by the city council. The school committee has drafted this, and they want you to say the words. It is not the school committee saying it, it is you saying it. Secondly, I made no legal statement of whether DESI is in violation or not. If you read the words, it says, whereas we, which would be the city council, believe DESI is not in compliance. You can also believe that Santa Claus exists. It doesn't make it a fact. So to say that I made a legal opinion is not correct, and I take great umbrage with that. What I did was take what he used for words and put it in words that I thought the city council would not get in trouble for, but I make no position for or against, and I make no legal position with this.
And there was, through the chair, there was a response to me. I want to clarify something. Currently, my statement was on clarification with the chief of staff, with the senior advisor, which mentioned that that you were saying violation, and that was a legal matter. I'm saying that it's an opinion, and the attorney is there, right? It's an opinion, not a legal matter.
Let's, we need a motion. We don't have a motion in front of us. Is there a motion? Anybody with a motion? I'm looking. Someone's got to give a motion. Motion to approve, motion to disapprove, motion to table, something, anything?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second to the motion to approve? Hearing none. Motion fails for a lack of a second.
Motion to table.
Motion to table has been made by the Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. No discussion on a motion to table. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Present.
Opposed, no. Roll call vote.
Councilor Infante?
No.
Councilor Reyes? Yes. Councilor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Councilor Rodriguez is noted as absent. Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Dela Cruz?
No.
Councilor Levy?
Yeah.
Council Vice President Reyes?
Yes.
Council President LaPlante?
Yes, the motion carries. The motion is tabled. Thanks, councilors. You know what, I'd like to take, we have one more item here with I do want to take, I want to take the emergency item that was placed on by Mr. The city engineer, acting city engineer, Theo Rosario. Mr. Rosario, would you please come forward? We need to, and I sent everybody this information earlier today. Councilors, I sent you some information earlier today. My apologies for not getting it to you earlier. Mr. Rosario gave it to me on Saturday. I had a little bit of a hiccup, but we got it out to you today. So I think you got your packet of stuff. You'll see it in here. 41. On your desk, 241. Right here in front of us. So I'd like for you just to briefly explain it, and then what we'll do is we'll make a motion to declare it an emergency, to place it on the agenda, and then if that all works, we're looking for a motion to adopt this evening. So, Mr. Rosario, just kind of give the council kind of an overview of
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. So, I've been working, lately in actually a lot of change orders and amendments for expired contracts, but the ordinary expirations. So we got the gas restoration contract that has been expired lately, and but it has been expired for 3 years. And then, from the procurement point of view, the purchasing agent cannot sign on an expired contract that has been expired for 3 years. So we need from you, respectfully, to actually change it and amend it for an extension of a year. So the gas restoration project was supposed to be finished in 3 years. But due to COVID-19, supply chain problems and other issues, so it got delayed for another year. So we had to put in place another phase 4, which is going to be the last phase of this gas restoration project. And so we have planned to actually do it while students are off school. And the area that is, this project is going to impact the surroundings of the Weatherby School. And since we didn't realize that the contract was expired, and in order for the purchasing department and the procurement officer to sign it, we need to extend it for a year. If you have any questions.
Let's just go with that. That was the background information. I do see Councilor Infante's hand is up, but I will be looking for motion pretty soon. Go ahead, Councilor Infante.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to make a comment real quick, and I want to say thank you for bringing this to Council President's attention. This specifically mentions the Weatherby School area, and I would have appreciated someone letting me know about this, or at least CCing me in the communication to the President, because this deals directly with my district. And the fact that I'm learning about this now, I don't think that's okay.
I apologize for that, Councilor. I apologize. I will include it.
Thank you. Duly noted. We'll make, all of us will make adjustments on that. Thank you. At this point, Clerk, can you walk us through exactly the order of how we should proceed on this if we choose to?
Sure. Just to clarify, I believe the first motion would be to declare the item an emergency, to place it on the agenda. So that would be the first motion. I don't know if we're looking to adopt this tonight or to send it to committee, but
I think this needs to be done post haste. I mean, you tell me, when does this need to be voted on for a final vote?
Oh, yes, as soon as possible, because what happens is that we have everything in place, and the contractor is just like, working for the city. So we want to retain the contractor, who has been working, brilliantly on this project, on the gas restoration project. So we don't want to lose them, because that will delay the project for a long, long time. So that's, so.
Okay, so there we go. So the first thing right now is that we're gonna need, so what's the answer is what? The answer is that you'd like to get this done tonight if we can, and if we get it done tonight, that means the contract, you're able to go ahead, get the workers, not wait 2 weeks, and you're able to move on it sooner rather than later.
Yes.
And right now, the contract has expired, and so right now, we can't work until the contract is essentially reauthorized for an additional year to allow the work to go forward.
Right.
If I'm in Councilor Infante's seat, I'm saying tonight.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, so I can understand why. So there we go. So I'm gonna look, the first one is to declare this an emergency, to put it on the agenda for this evening, and then we'll take it from there. Is there a motion to declare it an emergency to put it on tonight's agenda?
move.
Motion made by the Vice President, seconded by Council Infante. Discussion. See none? I'll need a roll call vote. Roll call vote, clerk.
Counselor Infante?
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes? Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez is noted as absent. Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Dela Cruz? Noted as absent. Counselor Levy? Okay. Counselor, Vice President?
Yes.
Council President LaPlante?
Yes. How many votes is that?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good. Oh, actually, 6.
We have 6 votes. It's declared an emergency. What's our next vote, clerk?
Next is to approve or adopt the item this evening.
And to declare it an emergency again, because we're going to have it
Sure.
immediately take effect?
So read the question and
So you're going to take a second motion that is going to be to approve the item as presented and declaring it an emergency. Is that like the equivalent of waiving the 30 days, or?
Yeah, because it's an emergency, we're not waiting. It has to be done.
So move that the motion has been made.
So motion to declare it an emergency and to adopt the matter this evening. Is that the
That is
motion?
correct. Yep.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Infante. Any further discussion on this matter? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Counselor Levy is noted as absent. Oh, yay! Yay. Thank you. Counselor Dela Cruz, noted as absent. Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez, noted as absent. Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes? Counselor Infante?
Yes.
Counsel Vice President Reyes?
Yes.
Counsel President LaPlante?
Yes, the motion is adopted, and you're ready to go forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Mr. Dominguez, is there any other equipment being utilized right now? There's no further equipment being utilized right now. I believe you're free to leave. We have some of your stuff here. We'll pass it down. Okay. Under tabled matters, document 15223, at our last meeting, we had a charter objection on this matter. I believe the underlying motion was a motion to approve.
To approve.
And so at this point, this matter's currently before us. So document 15223, if there's no objection, we'll just take it off the table. Is there any objection? There's no objection. The chair does hear no objection for taking it off the table. It is off the table. At this point, there's a motion. The motion is to approve document 15223. It has been properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to please, should we call the roll? I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll. Clerk?
Counselor Infante?
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes? Yes. Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez, noted as absent. Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Dela Cruz, noted as absent. Counselor Levy?
Yes.
Counsel Vice President Reyes?
Yes.
Counsel President LaPlante?
Yes, the motion is adopted. We're going back up to the ordinance committee. The document we're going to be dealing with is document number 19323, Family Fun Day at O'Connell Park on July 1st. Would the vice chair please give the committee a report?
Item 19323 is the Family Fun Day at the Conon Park. It's going to be on Saturday, July 1st, 2023. It was submitted by Nelson Ortiz and Jerison Cruz. That was sent to the full council without recommendation, and we request the applicant to be present at this council meeting to talk about it.
Is there a second to that motion? And I have a comment after that. Is there a second? Motion seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. I did get a communication from Mr. Ortiz, who has asked that this document be withdrawn because they're not able to do it. So I'll entertain I would ask for a motion to withdraw at this time. Motion made by the Vice President and seconded by the Vice Chair. Lots of vices. Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, the ayes have it. The matter is withdrawn.
Next item in the agenda is item 19523, the Farming Market. It's going to be on Wednesday, starting on June 14 to October the 25th at the Campanon Common Parks. It was submitted by Eddie Rosa, Grand Warlord, and was sent with favor recommendation, and I make it as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by the Vice President. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Mr. Guzman, are you rising for a purpose or anticipating? You want to give something? Okay.
I'm here for groundworks as well.
Okay. Madam Vice Chair, do you want to do the next one?
Item 19623 is the Farmer Market on Saturday from June 17 to October 28 at the O'Connell Parks. Also was submitted by Eddie Rosa, a Grand Warlord, and was sent with a favor recommendation, and I make it as a formal motion.
Motion made and properly seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Number 19923?
Item 19923 is the Christian Rally from what's supposed to start on June 10, Borgum Park, July 8, at Cronin Park, August 12 and September 9 at the Gatineau Park. That was submitted by George Colom. This was sent with favor That was sent with a favor recommendation without the October 7th. That was, we removed June 10. We removed the June 10 because that was too late. So they are going to start on July 8th. And then they want to add October 7th, but they want to do a new request for that day. So that was sent with favor recommendation, and I make it as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. So just so we're clear on that, October 7th, somebody said October 7th. October 7th. They're going to do a separate permit for October 7th. They're going to do it at a later point, so not to muddy the waters. Clearly, the June 10th one has come and gone, so that's not in effect anymore. And I think the rest of it is pretty accurate. So
yes.
Okay.
So practically the day is going to be July 8th, August 12th, September 9. So for October the 7th, they're gonna do a new request.
20123, that one, go ahead.
20123 is a 15-minute parking removed from 486 Howard Street, submitted by Councilor Ana Levy and Francisco Fria, and I do it as a formal motion.
Motion made, is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Selena Reyes. Councilor, I just wanted to bring everybody's attention and under new business, and there may be some confusion. I just want to clarify things, and the vice chair had an opportunity to talk with the sponsor. You'll see under new business that the same, that same location on Howard Street is looking to restore a 15-minute parking space. Councilor Green, I know there's going to be some confusion. Can you
Yes,
help me understand?
I spoke with the new, this is a new business that is gonna be opening on the same location that was the business before. So there was a bodega on that area, on that place. So the bodega moved to the corner of Howard Street. So they moved to the other side, and they requested to remove those parking spaces that were there. So, and put it on the new location. So that was done. So we already removed that, the parking, the 15-minute parking. So now it's gonna be a new business that they're gonna open, and they are requesting again to have that, the 15-minute parking. Did you get it?
Councilors, I defer to you, but we have ordinance 15-minute parking spots, so we're gonna take them down so then the new owner can come in and petition us later on the, like, we're gonna pay for advertising and a public hearing. Why wouldn't we just leave them up for the new owner that wants them? Like, I don't, I realize that sounds like an opinion more than but I just, one thought is, the new owner at 486 Howard Street was here tonight. They have an item on the agenda. They're asking to reinstate those. Rather than remove them, why don't we just leave them? Or am I
The
missing
thing
something?
is that one is already removed.
But if they're ordinance spots, we're just taking down the sign, we should put the sign back up.
That was, because that was approved to the new place that they, okay, so the old owner of the place moved right across the street, you know, on the corner of that area, on Howard Street. It's right across the school. What is the name of the school on Howard Street, where is also the fire department there? The Bailey? It's the Rolling School, yes. So they moved to the corner of that area. So the parking that they have, they asked to be removed from 480 Howard Street and install it on the other side of the street. So we don't even know that it's going to be a new store, or I don't know what kind of store, and they are waiting for the permit, you know, to open that store now on 486 Howard Street.
Question. Rosario. Thank you. There is a 15-minute parking sign and an ordinance there at that location. The owner is moving to the other side. Why don't the owner just request a new sign on the other side? And wouldn't that be in effect, instead of removing this to repost it and redo it all over again, would it be in effect to follow through with a new ordinance on the other side instead of removing this one?
Exactly, yeah, I think that's, it sounds like, council, maybe they want to put one on the other side, like, they haven't asked to put one on the other side yet, which is probably what they want to do. This is simply to remove the old signage.
I mean, I'm assuming that they cannot drag the ordinance to a new address. They need to post a new ordinance and the new address. So removing that one, will eliminate that one, and they'll still have to request another one to the other side. So it's somebody else asking for 15 minutes at the same spot that this one is. So just leave that one there for whoever's requesting it, and when they need one, they can post for the new 15 minutes, and it will save the city money and all that stuff.
Okay, this is the thing. The request for that removal was made, let me tell you something. The request for that removal was made last year, I think so September or October of the last year. And we approved also the new request at the new location for this owner.
But
so
now we have
I
somebody-
think so that DPW, okay, let me say. So DPW already came and removed the sign from there and put it on the new location. So it's no sign right there right now.
So you're telling me
Now,
that
after it was removed, 2 weeks ago, that was removed and put it on the new location. Because we were requesting this, and that is when Officer Cano approved it, and that was everything removed and transferred to the new location. So now the people who's gonna be living or moving or are going to open a new store, after they saw that this sign was removed, are asking just to put it back. That is what happened. So practically, we have to reinstall, or now this has to come to the ordinance committee. We have to approve it in there. We have to give it to Officer Cano to install again or reinstall again those signs in the prior location. Yes, it's a new item. It's a new business anyway. So right now, we're gonna remove and withdraw whatever that, that we are asking in here. And then in the new business, we had a request for putting back those signs again, or making, a request for the sign again.
It's clear as mud to the chair, because I just looked up the ordinance, and I took my handy dandy phone, and I looked at where the address is, and there is, I don't have the meets and bounds, but there is 15-minute parking on the west side of Howard Street, X number of feet from Platt.
Yes.
And that's where the current ordinance is.
Yes. Yeah.
So is the other one on the east side of Platt?
Yes, right across the street.
Why did they give the same number at 486 as the one they were restoring?
Because this is where they are going to open a new business now.
I think
Mr. President, it's like you were living on 486. You have a business on 486. Okay? You move right across the street, on the corner of Howard and Platt Street.
What's your new address when you move there? Is it 487?
No, it's, yeah.
It'd be the odd number, right?
It's in the other side. It's completely different.
I love what I love when it comes to this, which is learning how not to do things. They remove the sign without removing the ordinance, which is not right. They should remove the complete ordinance, right, and remove the sign, the old ordinance, right. That way it wouldn't be an ordinance right now, but it's still an ordinance. So yeah,
for the sign where they're supposed to
yeah.
go.
So they drag it with the same address, with the same everything, the wrong way to doing things. Whoever did it wrong, and I love this teaching class, so that way, I'm in a learning process, how not to do things. Counselor. Second.
Say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Continue, Councilor.
But let's go with what the chair wants, because she actually understands what she's proposing, but also she needs to understand that that was wrongdoing by not removing the ordinance.
Yes.
But the one thing, and as the clerk is reminding me right now, is that we already have an ordinance that's doing exactly what they want, right?
Yes.
My concern is why pay $500 for a new advertisement in the Eagle Tribune and delay it? Why not call DPW tomorrow and say, listen, put those signs where they belong, on the west side of Howard
We can do
Street.
that. I
That's all we have.
don't see any problem for that. We can speak with DPW, and we can ask them just to put the sign back to the same
It's a phone
place
call.
or the same area that it was before.
What do we do with this document? Should we withdraw this document and just have DPW do what they're supposed to do? And then we don't even need to deal with this new item that's on the new business because they're gonna get it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, I think I get it.
Motion to withdraw.
Motion to withdraw. Is there a second? Seconded by Counselor Del Rosario. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Counselor, will you help with that tomorrow with DPW?
Yes, I will.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, continuing.
So the 20523 is the Immigrant Park Place. Chestnut Street and Short Street is to add Isabel Melendez name that was made by Councilor by President Estela.
She's here. So
I
thank you.
wasn't there without recommendation.
Without recommendation?
Yes, because there is no information regarding whatever that it was supposed to be done at the time. So we don't have anything we asked, and that was the recommendation of the committee.
Okay, so you just making a motion to.
There's a motion
say
right
to-
now, as a committee report. Is there a second? Second, all in favor. Discussions on the committee report. All in favor say aye.
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 No, the ayes have it. Now I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve pending more information about what is gonna be happening is actually just to add Isabel Melendez's name, so I think everybody know who she is, all the things that she has done for the community. But just to have it in the record, we're just gonna put something, just to describe or more information. So motion to approve.
Motion has been made and properly second to approve, and I think we're going to get some more. I think it's important, for our history just to have that in our files. The clerk has it. We have a lot more. I think all of us know about Isabel Melendez. She's worthy of a few comments tonight. We're about to honor her with a place. I kind of wish the family was here as well. I mean, this is a big vote. We're about to name something with her. But we'll have a better, do you have any idea when we're gonna do a?
Let me take the blame. I was not present in the last ordinance meeting. They all show up on the city council meeting prior to ordinance committee. It was my mistake to tell them that they need to be at the ordinance, but no one was notified then that needs to be present today. So that could be the reason why. So I have to take the blame. I'm gonna speak on behalf of them, and like I say, I'm just gonna ask them just to submit some information, just to have it in the record.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Let's go right to new business. 21123, authorization to expend grant funds, $10,000 to the ECCF Summer Fund, Budget and Finance. 21723, request for loading zone, 275 Broadway, Helen's Tailoring and Dry Cleaning, ordinance. 21823, request for loading zone, 313 Broadway, Helen's Dry Cleaner, ordinance. 21923, Tar Box School Parking Area, signage and enforcement for restricted resident access. Annie Diaz and Councilor Gregory Del Rosario is going to the ordinance. Your name's on here, no? Is that, okay? We're good? 22023 stop sign, Crosby and Newton Street by Councilor Stephanie Infante, ordinance committee. direct disposition of real property, Garfield Street, Lot 60, map 70, Lot 35 is going to the housing. I am going to withdraw document 22223, we just dealt with it. Document 22323, no parking, 104 Bennington Street, 8 to 5 p.m., put on by Vice President Reyes and Johanny Garcia. That's going to the ordinance. 22423, stop sign, Dale Street, corner of Alston Street, put on by Councilor Selena Reyes as Ordinance Committee. 22523 West Street, one-way, Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez, Ordinance Committee. Document 22623, Leahy School, additional loan order of $12 million. That is going to the Budget and Finance. 22723, filling vacant position after 6-month vacancy, a network supervisor. That is going to the Ordinance Committee. 22823, Animal Control Ordinance regulating animal breeding is going to the Ordinance Committee. 23623, Celebrate Recovery Month, August 26, 2023, is going to the Ordinance Committee. 23723, Evangelism, Saturdays, June 17th, July 15th, August 19th, September 9th, October 14th, November 18th, at 1 to 3 p.m. at Kennedy Park. That is going to the Ordinance Committee. 23823, Salsa in El Barrio, August 6, 2023, 3 to 6 p.m., Manchester Street Park, Ordinance. 23923, Interfaith Family Event, August 12th, 9 to 4, O'Connell Park, Ordinance. And 24023, Annual Community Resource Fair, September 9th, 2023, at 11 from 2 in the Campagnon Common, is the Ordinance Committee. Councilors, we have a meeting tomorrow night. Arguably the most important vote of our entire year is tomorrow, the budget. So I'll see everybody here tomorrow at 7. Now for committee meetings. Councilor Vice President, do you have a few words you want to provide about the ordinance meeting?
Next Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Okay.
The 27th, June 27 at 7.
Very good. Vice Chair of the Budget Committee.
Monday, Secretary.
Personnel Committee, Councilor Chair Infante.
I thank you. I just want to say to the Budget and Finance Committee, because we had a quorum issue last time. The 26th in the evening, I'm going away, and we'll be coming back the 28th in the afternoon. The 26th is my dad's 2-year death anniversary, so I'm going to go away and regroup myself. So I just want to mention that now, in case for any quorum, I will not be here. But if is needed, I will log on through Zoom.
So
and
we can change it to Wednesday. That's not a problem with you, Councilor De Rosario? So we can do it on Wednesday at 6:30?
Can we do Wednesday at 7?
At 7 on Wednesday?
Get the loan order, which is pretty big. The $12 million loan order. And a few other items, I believe, as well. Okay.
Okay, Wednesday 7?
Wednesday at 7, okay.
Thank you. As far for personnel, I know our director is away and she's coming back, our HR director is away and she's coming back when the day that I'm leaving for the few days. So want to schedule personnel Wednesday at 6, if everyone's available. Well, my committee's not here, but. So Wednesday at 6.
Housing issues? No housing? Okay. Position. We have, Monday the 26th, we have a housing committee. Gotcha.
Oh, he already set the date, that's right, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right, I think that's it.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Russell. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.